I want to start by recording my thanks to Director General Terry Jones. Terry announced earlier in the week that he's going to be stepping down at the end of April next year after 10 years of incredible service to the NFU and its membership. Terry is incredibly well respected within the staff team, but also the wider industry. Dealing with the fallout from Brexit, the COVID crisis when supply chains needed replumbing, and then the tragic situation in the Ukraine and the implications that has had on domestic supplies and the volatility within that supply chain, and the work that he's done with the wider supply industry as part of the Food For within Defra is incredibly well respected. And thank you, Terry, for everything that you have done on behalf of the membership. On Monday this week, we also had a very significant announcement coming out of Defra. A group of members supported by the Legal Assistance Scheme and the Central NFU were taking a challenge against the SFI decision when Defra closed that scheme with no warning and no announcement and didn't give anybody the ability to plan. We didn't believe that that was fair because they were supposed to be given 6 weeks notice, and this group of members were threatening litigation against Defra with the full support from the NFU. On Monday, Defra decided that the decision that had been taken needed to be retaken, and effectively they hadn't given the appropriate notice. This is excellent news and could be worth 80 to 90 million pounds to those members that were caught in the system. Just over 3,000 of you that had applications that had started within the 2-month time frame will be eligible for up to £9,300. But we know for many of you this doesn't go further enough, and we're now looking at what the options may be moving forwards. If any of you are impacted or were impacted by the closure of the SFI and haven't recorded your case with the Call First, please do ring in and make sure that we understand your situation and how it has impacted you. Yesterday, I was down at the Devon Show. We had an absolutely packed marquee. The weather was absolutely fantastic, and it was just great to see so many members on the stands. Those conversations where we really connect with you, we make sure you understand what you're thinking, are absolutely vital for driving the NFU forward. And it really was a fantastic day that I thoroughly enjoyed. I know that there are many of you around the country that are getting very concerned about the dry weather. I've got a field of maize by the side of me here that still hasn't germinated. Our grass crop to the other side of me is probably going to be half what it was last year. And this is replicated right the way across the country. Now, obviously, at this moment, if we get a decent rain by the end of May, hopefully most of the damage will be undone. But it's something that we're very well aware of. And with this being a Mental Health Awareness Week, I think it is opportune just to mention the work of the rural health charities. And if any of you are struggling, please do reach out for help. Don't suffer alone. A problem shared is one which will be much, much easier to deal with. I look forward to updating you on next week. We've obviously got the announcements around the EU trade deal, which will be taking place on Monday. We watch that with interest. The NFU position has been very clear that we do think there should be opportunity for carve-outs where we are no longer aligned, such as the precision breeding bill, and we await the announcements out of Defra and out of wider government with real interest, and we'll update you with what that means for you and your business. Thank you very much for listening.